Hey guys, it's Ant-Man here, and in this video I want to share with you something that I came across. It's something that we see nearly every day, if not every day, in our own charts, but it viewed in a slightly different and unique way. It does feel good to be making a video. It's been quite some time since my last video. It's been the better part of 2, maybe even 3 months. I've just been super busy with side projects. I'm super focused on what I've got going on in my little, side project. I've been putting all my time, all my energy, and everything into that, and it's really coming along great. And I'm super excited about it. And I'm not going to go into much detail about it right now. Everything in time will come. But I'm learning, new things about markets and how markets work and things I probably would have not pursued learning had I not gone down this path. Really great stuff, learning the broader picture of markets, financial market concepts, new concepts, commodities, learning about different way things work, auction market concepts, and learning what an auction market is and how auction markets really function, which I think is super important for everyone that trades, especially day traders, swing traders, everyone that trades. If you don't really understand what an auction market is, learn it. Google it, and just read up the basics on what an auction market is and auction market principles, and it's really a solid concept and a solid foundation of knowledge to have, because at the end of the day, every financial market that is traded by a trader is an auction market. And the theories and the concepts that go into that are very useful in helping you see the market through a different lens, so to speak, and make your decisions and your analyses, if that's a word, just more efficient, easier. And I know I just, with all that I've learned and the long way I've come so far, tacking on this knowledge has really helped me to see markets differently now. It's like I put on a pair of reading glasses and I can just see everything a little bit clearer now. It's been, actually, the best word is synergistic. It's been synergistic with what I've learned so far from my mentor, Pat, about technical analysis, about market conditions, market setup, psychology, all the things that go into making you a superior day trader. This is just the info that I'm now learning and tacking on to what I already know. It's synergistic. It's like 1 plus 1 makes 3. So it's been really, really helpful. I'm really, really pumped and psyched about what I'm doing here. And yeah, and I've also, in this little journey, little path I'm on, I've also learned a lot about myself. And let's face it, guys, self-discovery is part of the process. Some of you that may not realize it, some of you that may not want to admit that you realize it. Learning about yourself, it's part of the journey, isn't it? It's part of the marathon process that we have to embrace if we really want to do this full time. I've learned a lot of things about myself, things that I could have sworn I knew, but I didn't know about myself. As strange as that sounds, I now see myself in a new light as well. And I'm picked up on some things that I like about myself and some things that I do not like about myself that I'm focused on changing. So this whole process, not only will it make you a better trader, it hopefully will make you a better person, because you'll be able to focus in on these things that maybe aren't so great, that you want to work on, or that you don't realize you are, or you do, and others do see it but they're afraid to tell you, or whatever the situation may be. But it's about just really the self-improvement, trying to be the best you that you can be, and wanting to work to make that change. There's nothing that can't be done. The old saying goes, can't lives on won't street. The only thing that can't be done is because you won't do it. everything, can be done, and there are varying degrees of difficulty, but they can be done if you put the work in for it. So anyway, enough about the philosophy of life here. On to the content of the video, and what you see in front of you is a chart on the platform called Sierra Chart. If you can see my mouse, which is flashing like a discotheque, I don't know why. It's weird, but you see, it's Sierra Chart's the platform, and it's actually a really neat, super cool little platform I came across when doing some research about platforms, because my main charting platform is eSignal. However, lately it's been getting a little wonky. Not to mention the cost of it, which it's not cheap. But it has everything that you could think of you would need. It's an absolutely professional platform. It's a wonderful, robust platform. But at the end of the day, it's just, I don't know. Through my analysis, I think I can get everything I need for the way I trade and the way I analyze markets on Thinkorswim and Sierra Chart put together. Plus, I also have TC2000. So I think that eSignal is probably redundant, and probably going to wind up just nixing it like I nixed DAS a couple weeks ago, because it was actually not functioning the way I hoped it would, with certain markets and whatnot. But that's a topic for another video. And it's also just about trimming the bottom line, because at the end of the day, this is a business, and in a business you need to make more than you're spending. So if I can trim the fat here and there, why the hell not? So it just makes sense to me to do that, and I've been thinking about this for a while already. I said Sierra Chart. This is called Sierra Chart, and it's a really cool platform. It's lightweight. Like anyone that uses TC2000 knows what I mean by it's a lightweight platform. It's not a RAM hog. It functions on even slower computers. It's very fast. And the thing I like about it is that you can link it to your broker. If you could look up here in my title bar, you see it says Interactive Brokers. I have this linked to my Interactive Brokers account, and I can actually trade right from Sierra Chart, which is pretty cool. So I can use it for my charting software, and I can trade from it, right from the charts in Sierra Chart. And no, I'm not paid by Sierra Chart. This is not a plug for them. I'm just giving you guys my honest feedback on it, because I'm pretty excited about that. I found this a couple months ago, and I've been using it, and I really like it. It's really robust, and it's got a lot of depth to it. If you really sit down and take the time to learn how to use it, it's a super useful platform, and it's priced right. It's I believe $36 a month US, and if you attach your broker to it, which it takes, it's compatible with many of the popular US brokers like Interactive Brokers, TD Ameritrade. There's a bunch of other ones that I don't know off the top of my head, but if you link it to your broker, then you don't have to pay Sierra Chart for their data. So it will be $36 a month if you link it to your broker the way I have it. But if you don't want to link it, or you don't have a broker that they're compatible with, I believe their data is $15 a month, so $51 a month, and you have a really robust platform. It's on par with the pricing for TC2000, and of course we know that TOS is free. And just as a side note, I Thinkorswim, I do like the platform. It was the first platform that when I first got into trading years ago, I was with Thinkorswim when they were Thinkorswim before TD Ameritrade bought them out. So that's been that long since I've been with the company, and I've been using them. I've been a client of theirs, and I've had a trading account with them for that long already. I just haven't used them recently because their fees. At the time I called them, they would not negotiate lower, so I left them. But I'm hearing now they will play ball, so that's something on my to-do list. But that's neither here nor there right now. But As far as TD Ameritrade goes, I've been playing with my settings and tweaking and whatnot, and I have it on a newer, faster computer. And I have to be honest, it's not really bugging out the way it used to. So I don't know if it's Thinkorswim getting their shit together finally, after what I can only imagine are hundreds of complaints from their users, or if it's just because I'm on a better machine, or the combination of both. But I've noticed that with the adjustments I've made, it's been actually, knock wood, functioning pretty well. So I've been happy with it so far, and I never had any issues with it prior to that laggy period. I've always really liked the platform, and I honestly think if it could be the best hands down platform out there for charting and trading. But they got to get their shit together, man. If any of you out there listening are TD Ameritrade employees, executives, up in the brass, hear my words. Go to a subscription model, the way TC2000 does, the way Sierra Chart does, the way all the other platforms do, and take that subscription fee, and put it into the company to improve the product. Get better servers, better programmers, a better IT department, overhaul the platform, listen to your customers' feedback. There's a lot of little tweaks that can be made to this program just to reduce the number of keystrokes, the number of mouse clicks, the mouse mileage, that is what I call it. How many miles you track your mouse across the screen because of inefficient placement of tools. And if you do these things, you could have the best hands-down platform out there. I know I certainly would pay something in that $30 to $50 range for a top-notch platform like TOS could be, but again, that's another story. So back to this chart we have in front of us here. I'm sorry for that tangent. I just I don't know. I must be subconsciously really excited to be back on mic and back making videos, and I'm just talking my little head off here. So back to what I was getting at with what I want to show you here today. This is an order flow chart. It's basically a blown up candlestick chart, and within each candle you can see there's all these numbers. There's two columns of numbers, and there's this little blue line in the middle. I'm going to explain what everything is. You have these two columns here, the left column and the right column. The left column are all the orders that have gone through on the bid, and the right column are all the orders that have gone through on the ask. So this is your buying, and this is your selling. The blue line here is your what's called point of control. It's your highest number of traded contracts or traded volume for this particular candle. Okay, I have this set to a 5-minute time frame. These are all 5-minute candles, and these are all the orders that have gone through. So instead of having volume on the bottom of the chart, or volume profile, volume at price on the side of the chart here, like some people have, it's actually in the candlestick. And you can see, if I turn on my crosshairs here, you can see how for each price level, each 1 cent increment, it shows the number of trades made on the bid and on the ask in this 5-minute candle. And it works for any time frame. You can do it on the 5, the 15, the 30, whatever time frame you're looking at. It'll show you that. But I trade the 5 and 30 a lot, so I have this set for this is a crude oil chart set to a 5-minute time frame. And what I came across today was every Wednesday there's something called the petroleum status report, and it happens at 10:30 on Wednesdays. And it's just a it's a once a week report. It's kind of like a Fed speak, but not as impactful in the market. It just impacts crude oil. It impacts anything that's petroleum related, especially in the futures world. Crude oil, natural gas, unleaded gasoline futures. and it's just a it's stats report on petroleum and whatnot, and it can have an effect on these energy futures. And what I want to show you here is, if I scroll over, you see the 1030 candle. You see the big pop that happened on that report. And what's unique about this, let me see if I can scroll it in a little bit more. If I can zoom it in. Is look at the order flow right at the bottom of the candle, right where it popped. Do you see how it's uniform? 100 on the ask, 100 on the ask, 100 on the ask, 100 on the ask, all the way up. And this is a lot of volume. And the reason why this is so uniform, this is an algo candle. This is an algo responding to the petroleum report. And you can tell that by this uniform buying. This is pre-programmed to pick up on certain keywords from that petroleum report to either buy or sell. If it was a negative result, this would have been 100 down in a red candle. But this is what, I guess, looking behind the scenes of an algo candle, this is what it looks like. All this uniform buying, and then where it changes to more random buying up here, where it looks like the rest of the candles in the bunch, these are all actual traders, jumping in, chasing the move up, like we all know happens way too often. And you can even see that the blue control line is up here, saying that the majority of the trading happened up near the top of the candle. You can see the wick is right here. So in the upper 1/3 of the candle is where the majority of the buying happened, majority of the trading, I should say, happened. But I just found this pretty interesting that, we talk about algos every day, and, we see them on the SPY and on other charts, and I just thought this was a pretty cool view of what an algo candle looks like, quote unquote, behind the scenes. And this is one of the reasons why you can never compete with an algo, why you can never chase an algo candle, why you'll get smoked, because this is all done by computer. This first few first half of the candle of trading, and you see it's all on the ask. There's nothing on the there's nothing on the bid. It's all 100 lot orders, 100 contract lots on the ask. So that's just jumping right in all the way up here, and that's a sizable amount of contracts of crude oil. And if you're thinking to yourself, well, that's only 100. We're talking 100 contracts of crude oil. Just to give you an idea, let me pull in my Thinkorswim platform, which has that data on it. Okay, here. And you can see what I have here. What is going on with my mouse? Now, this is going to make for some entertaining with my mouse. But yeah, see, this is my Thinkorswim setup, very plain. If I'm trading a futures contract, I don't even use candlesticks. I use plain bar charts without any indicators on them. It forces me just to focus on price action, on volume analysis, and technical analysis, and the setups. I don't want any noise. I don't want any distractions. This is how I trade futures. So let me go to my, what the hell? Let me go to my thing here and pull up crude. And we can see that one contract in futures is $59,180 is what one contract costs. So imagine what 100 contracts cost, 100 times this amount, which is $5 million. So I'm doing that right. Did I do that right in my head? $59,180 times 100. Yeah, it's almost $6 million. So those 100 lot contracts that you let me just minimize this for a second, guys. Hang on a second. There we go. These 100 lot contracts, each 100 lot is a $6 million purchase. So that's how you know this is, not only is this big money, but it's algos programmed by the big money getting in over here. And I'll talk a bit about the way this chart is set up here. I personally I don't use this intraday when I trade. It's too much going on. It's too busy for me. I just use that simple plain chart that you just saw on Thinkorswim. I don't use this chart intraday, but I do use it after hours for analysis. It's a great way to see order flow. It's a great way to see where a lot of buying is, where a lot of selling is, which can clue you in onto potential support and resistance zones. It can show you which prices are more important. What else can it do? You can gauge where the big money's getting in, getting out. You can gauge where there may be trapped longs or trapped shorts. So it does have a really, really good use for it. It's just, I don't think, for me at least, and not at this point in my trading, that I can use it intraday. Although one day maybe as I improve in my skill level, I may be able to incorporate this. So I think it does have a place. But right now I'm using it just as an analysis tool after hours. But if you were to use this intraday, what you can notice is that, for example, these two candles here, if you notice, there's some zeros on the offer side, on the ask side. 0, 0, 0, 0 right here. So these candles, even though they're red, they're dominated by buying. So this is one clue to say that maybe we're going to have a move up coming. Notwithstanding this big algo move, I'm just reporting what I see here. We have these candles moving down, and as you can see, these blue bars, they're spaced a certain distance apart, but then the gap between these two blue bars closes. That's also a signal that we could be coming into a short-term bottom. And indeed, we did start to curl up, and then we had the big push over here. But if I see a big push like this, especially off a news-driven event or a report or an algo, whatever it may be, my first thought is to get short off this pop. And reading the order flow here, this will could have clued you in to say, yeah, this would be a good place to get short, because we have a lot of zeros here on the bid side. Bunch of zeros here at the top, zeros here at the top, there's a zero there. So this is telling me that there really isn't any buying at the top price levels, but there is selling. So there's a good chance that this will start coming down. Also, keep in mind this is a 5-minute chart, so we do have slightly lower highs on the wicks. This is kind of downtrending, so if you were to take a short in crude oil anywhere in these candles, you can see it would have paid off nicely. You would have gotten somewhere around 28, around a 50-cent move, which is $500 per contract. So that's a very nice trade. Even one contract, for most of you guys out there, that's your daily nut. Maybe double your nut. So, very easy way to use this. And yeah, I think that's all I have for you today. But just to go over Sierra chart really quick one more time, you can see it's got. I have there's regular charts here too. This is my equities page. I have Amazon and Netflix set up. I'm going to be putting some more charts here on this side, and probably putting Google and Tesla. And I want to give this a whirl intraday to see how it works. I'm already very familiar with Thinkorswim, and I've been using that in lieu of eSignal, and it's been working out fine, thankfully. So I want to give this a whirl and see how this works, intraday. We have that. I have my futures set up here with bar charts and the vertical volume profile and the horizontal volume profile. And like I say, it's a really cool little platform. So I just thought I'd share this with you guys. If you have any questions, feel free to hit me up in chat, hit me up in on YouTube, and if you like the content or you want more, please leave me a comment, please subscribe, and have a great night, guys. Ciao.